Good morning, everybody. It's Kylene with Parents for Public Schools. I am so excited to be here this morning with Dr. Lenker, our superintendent. Good morning, Dr. Lenker.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Dr. Lenker, I know you and I have talked and that some information came out yesterday with some updates about COVID in schools. And some information specifically came out about the new Mako testing program that's happening in schools. I've had a lot of parents write Parents for Public Schools with questions. I know you all put out some answers with a frequently asked question and answer page yesterday. Parents, sometimes we hear it better than we read it. So We're here to just do a little recording. So Dr. Lenker, I'm really just kind of going to go over the questions that you shared in the update over email and social media, and maybe you can just share those answers verbally for us.
Very good. Very good.
All right. So if a parent wants to pre-register for that opt-in test to stay program, how would they go about that?
A week or so ago, the schools, or maybe starting on Friday, the schools had some information they could send out to parents. Some of the schools were waiting till today to figure out where all the testing material was. But that information is in the principal's hands and is in most cases been sent out to parents. So you have a link from your school that will take you to it'll just takes you to a website where all the information has been downloaded for that school. So that school can see it directly. That is, I think it's by a group called Color out of California, but you follow that link. And the idea is parents pre-register for it and you do it now. So if something would happen and your child does get exposed, then we know we don't have to go and register your child. You already have it done, so we can actually help get your child tested so they can stay in school.
Okay. And it sounds like you said that that link is school specific. So a parent at one school shouldn't forward it to a parent at another school because it wouldn't be the same link.
Correct. And we've had our employees double check it who have kids in multiple schools, and you really need to fill it out twice, which I know is a pain, but that's just the way it is. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have kids, I know some parents out there are elementary, middle, and high. So you would need to do one for each of those.
Correct.
For each child that you have. Okay. Excellent. And there has been some questions, and I think you answered it, but let's just go over it again. Should a parent register only once their child has symptoms, or should they do that beforehand if it's available from their school beforehand?
We would prefer you go ahead and do it now, because the first question actually asks, do you have symptoms? And I'm not sure what happens if you actually say yes. When I looked at it and clicked no at the very bottom, it will let you go right through the process. So go ahead and register your child now, so they're just ready to go. And this makes life easier if and when something will happen.
Sure. And parents, I'll say I personally was a little bit confused because it asked that symptoms piece first. You do need to scroll to the bottom of that first screen and click no symptoms if your child is in fact not symptomatic right now. So just be sure to scroll down. That's definitely been a question that's come up several times. And if it's determined at the school that the child needs to be tested, they're at school, they're having some symptoms, their throat starts to hurt, whatever, would the child be tested before the parent's called, or is the parent going to go ahead and be called and then the testing happens?
We call parents. I mean, that's the rules we put out, things we put out is call the parent. So the parent knows what's going on. And in the vast majority of cases, the younger the child, all the way up as a sliding scale, but the younger the child, obviously we're going to need or expect the parent to come in and help. I mean, kindergarten kids are not going to necessarily want, someone at the school level doing a quick nose swab, right? So we'll need the parents to help and get us through that process. Of course, that's different the higher up you go in the grades. If it's a 17 or 18-year-old, that's just different compared to kindergarten.
Sure. So it sounds like parents, the opt-in registration is really just to get some things out of the way ahead of time. You'll still be notified before the test is given.
Correct. Okay. It's just a matter of that's just a matter of making sure we can get through the process easier. The goal of all this, this whole test to stay program and the whole quarantine rules is to keep the kids in school. So parents can go to work and do whatever they need to do, but we need to keep the kids in school. So then we can obviously educate them. But that's what this is for.
Excellent. And I have had several parents just say, hey, I've got more questions. I'm a little bit uncertain. Who should they contact if they just want to talk about this a little more before filling that form out?
Just I would reach out to the school, either the principal or maybe the COVID contact who knows a lot about it. If you know the school nurse, you can talk to them. But a lot of people at the school are getting briefed on this whole process. We have people getting trained on this process. So multiple people at the school know how to do it and know what it's about.
All right. Well, I think those are the most common questions that we're getting on our end. I know that you addressed a lot of those in the email and social media that came out yesterday. So thank you so much for your time, Dr. Lenker, and please extend gratitude and thanks to all of your employees who are taking care of our kids right now.
We'll do it. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.